This is a 2022 Mazda CX-5 that was just imported from Japan. And today I'm going to tell you the good and the bad sides of buying a used crossover from the Japanese car auctions with over 20,000 kilometers on the dash, as well as show you what is special in the Japanese version and what you should be aware of. My name is Mike and you're watching Car Nerds. I want to start off with the pricing. Buying a used Mazda CX-5 here in Cyprus would cost you somewhere around 25 to 30,000 euros. Importing the same CX-5 from Japan is possible for as low as 20 to 25,000 euros, and that's after all of the expenses. That includes the transportation, the customs and the registration fees. Such good deals are very common for the Japanese auctions. They are full of good prices and generally have a great variety of cars, unlike our local car market here in Cyprus, where you're lucky if you even have 5 listings available for the car that you're searching for. But Japanese cars do come with one big downside, which is the transportation time. It took this Mazda 3 months to arrive to Cyprus. Be ready that the further you are from Japan, the longer it's going to take for the car to reach your country. And once arriving, it then takes the car another 2 to 3 weeks to pass all of the certifications and get registered before the client can actually receive his vehicle title. Now, let's talk about the condition of this CX-5. Overall, the car looks like it's straight out of the dealership. No visible marks or imperfections, even though it has a 4.5B rating. But the auction list does say that there's some damage on this car. Let's have a look at how serious it actually is. So the auction list tells us that there's 4 scratches on this car. I've identified only 2. Here's the first one. Hopefully you can see there's tiny scratches in this area. They're really small, but there's quite a few of them. Then moving on to the door panel, I couldn't identify a single scratch in here, even though it's listed on the auction list. Same goes to the skirt down here. I couldn't find a single scratch in this area. But when you move to the back skirt, this is probably the most serious damage that this car has. And it's also marked in the auction list. They're quite big and it's hard to get rid of them. But other than those 2 scratches, I couldn't find anything on this car. This CX-5 came with a bunch of pretty cool options, such as ventilated and heated seats, a Bose sound system, and a power trunk that opens and closes with just a press of a button. It also comes with a 360 view camera and many more cool features. This is just one example of all of the options that you can get from a Mazda CX-5 on the Japanese auction. Japan has so many cars that you can literally find any car in the exact options that you want it to be. This CX-5 came with this key. Japanese cars are usually shipped with 2 keys, but in some cases they're shipped with 1. Either way, the buyer always knows how many keys to expect because it's usually stated in the auction list whether the car comes with 1 or 2 keys. Now, let's move on to the interior. The first impression is that it's flawless, there's nothing wrong with it. The seats have been well maintained, the panel doesn't have any scratches or rubs or anything. One thing that I have noticed is that there's tiny paint drops on some of the leather for some reason. But I'm sure it's easy to rub it off. Japanese people take very good care of their cars, no matter if it's a regular daily driver or something very expensive and exclusive. In one of my past videos, I've reviewed a Bentley Bentayga that had over 50,000 kilometers on the mileage and was in supreme condition. But probably the biggest issue with Japanese imported cars is the language that it comes with. Both the infotainment system and the gauge cluster are in Japanese, a language that I don't understand at all. Some Japanese cars do come with English pre-installed as a secondary language. Luckily, this is one of those cars. But for the cars that only come in Japanese, it's still possible to change the language to any other language of your choice with a little help from a car specialist. We offer such services to our clients, and there's plenty of professionals all over the world that can help you if you live in another country. Another thing that needs to be changed in the software are the radio frequencies. Japan has different radio frequencies than Europe, so the car radio might sound messed up when the car just arrives from Japan. Japanese cars also need their GPS maps localized, because when they arrive, they only have Japan's map preloaded. Also, the fuel consumption is shown in a weird way. Instead of showing you the amount of liters per 100 kilometers, it shows you the kilometers per 1 liter. This can also be changed by a specialist. Now, moving on to the back seats, it's pretty comfortable in here. I have plenty of knee room, and even though this isn't a huge car, I can sit up straight and not hit my head on the ceiling. I'm 188, so I face this problem quite frequently. And finally, under the hood we have a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder that produces 187 horsepower and goes 0 to 100 in just 8 seconds. And now let's see what the Japanese CX-5 is like on the road. Now the first thing that I can say about this car is that it isn't made to be fun and sporty. It's just a reliable city car that has some basic capabilities to go off-road, since it does have 4-wheel drive. But keep in mind, I'm talking about very basic off-road, nothing crazy. Another thing that I didn't expect in this car is that it has paddle shifters. I don't know why they're here, but they're here, so you have an option to change gears if you want to. Overall, it's a pretty solid car, but other than that, I have nothing else to say about it. You can go to a picnic site or to a hiking trail. This car is gonna manage to get you there, no problem. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you're thinking of importing a car from Japan, reach out to us and my team members Anastasia and George will help guide you every step of the way. You can find their contacts in the video description.